On Thursday, the Russian Ministry of Defense released a series of images that it claims show Russian soldiers in the Ukrainian town of Siversk. These images are part of Moscow's announcement that it has captured the strategically important eastern Ukrainian town, which has been a focal point of intensified fighting in recent weeks. The town, located in the Donetsk region, has seen heavy conflict as both Russian and Ukrainian forces have fought for control of key settlements in the region. The images, although released without a specific shooting date, show Russian soldiers holding the Russian flag and the flag of the 123rd Separate Guards Motor Rifle Brigade in various locations across Siversk. One of the key locations highlighted in the footage is near the town hall, where the flags are displayed prominently. In addition to the ground shots, the Ministry of Defense also released aerial footage showing the extent of the damage in Siversk, with scenes of destroyed buildings and a railway that has been heavily impacted by the ongoing conflict. The footage from the Russian Ministry of Defense shows soldiers holding the Russian flag and the flag of the 123rd Separate Guards Motor Rifle Brigade in the streets and near key locations in the town. These images appear to be part of a broader propaganda effort to reinforce Moscow's claims of territorial gains in Ukraine, especially as the fighting continues to rage in eastern Ukraine. The town of Siversk has been a significant point of focus in recent months, as both Russian and Ukrainian forces have sought to control it due to its strategic importance. Aerial shots in the footage capture a wide view of Siversk, showing significant destruction. Buildings that once lined the streets now appear severely damaged, with some showing clear signs of bomb or artillery damage. The railway infrastructure in the town is also visible in the aerial footage, with visible damage that further underscores the extent of the conflict. The images offer a glimpse into the ongoing nature of the battle for control over Siversk, as the region continues to be a key flashpoint in the war. In one particular sequence of images, Russian soldiers are seen placing a Russian flag and a flag of the self-declared Luhansk People's Republic, LPR, on a monument in Siversk. The T-34 monument, a symbol of Soviet military history, is prominently featured in the shots. This moment is captured from multiple angles, showing the flags being placed on the monument. The T-34 monument is significant due to its historical symbolism, as the T-34 tank was a pivotal weapon for Soviet forces during World War II. The inclusion of the LPR flag in the images is a notable element, as it reflects Russia's ongoing support for separatist movements in eastern Ukraine. The LPR, along with the Donetsk People's Republic, DPR, is one of the self-proclaimed breakaway republics that Russia has supported since the early stages of the conflict in 2014. By including the LPR flag in these images, Moscow appears to be signalling its continued backing of separatist forces in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions, areas that have been at the heart of the conflict between Russian-backed separatists and the Ukrainian government. The aerial shots also provide a broader view of the town, showing not only the damage to buildings, but also the presence of military activity in the area. The images from the Russian Ministry of Defense emphasize the physical toll of the conflict on Siversk, with large swathes of the town reduced to rubble. These shots offer a stark visual representation of the destruction caused by the ongoing war, underscoring the intense nature of the fighting in the region. Despite the claims of Russian control over Siversk, there has been no independent verification of the images or confirmation from Ukrainian sources that the town has fallen. The Ukrainian government has yet to issue an official statement responding to Russia's claims. The situation remains fluid, with reports of continued fighting in the surrounding areas. It is also unclear whether Ukrainian forces have retreated from Siversk or are preparing to launch counter-offensives in the area. As with many other areas in the ongoing conflict, the situation on the ground remains highly dynamic, and the fate of the town is still uncertain. The Russian Ministry of Defense's release of these images is part of a broader information campaign, aimed at bolstering domestic support for the war and highlighting Russia's territorial gains in Ukraine. These images are being shared widely on Russian state media and social platforms, where they are likely to be used to reinforce the narrative that Russia is making progress in its military objectives in Ukraine. The use of official military symbols, such as the 123rd Separate Guards Motor Rifle Brigade flag and the LPR flag, serves to underline the narrative that Russia's military actions are supported by the separatist forces in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. At the same time, these images are likely to be viewed with skepticism by international audiences, as they come from a source that is closely aligned with the Russian government. The absence of independent verification means that the true situation on the ground remains unclear. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine is marked by a high level of misinformation and propaganda from both sides, making it difficult to verify claims made by either the Russian or Ukrainian governments without independent reporting from non-governmental sources. The images of soldiers holding flags and standing in front of damaged buildings are part of a larger effort by Russia to control the narrative of the war. By showcasing the presence of its military in towns like Siversk, Moscow seeks to demonstrate its dominance in the region and to bolster morale at home. However, these images may also serve to further inflame tensions with the Ukrainian government and its allies, who view Russia's actions in Ukraine as a violation of international law and a threat to Ukraine's sovereignty. The town of Siversk itself has been a strategic prize in the ongoing war, and its capture would represent a significant military gain for Russian forces. However, its capture does not necessarily mean that the region is fully secured, as the surrounding areas remain contested, and Ukrainian forces may continue to mount a resistance. The images released by Russia may reflect a temporary victory, but the broader military situation in the Donetsk region remains volatile and uncertain. In the wider context of the war in Ukraine, the struggle for control of towns like Siversk is part of a broader push by Russian forces to expand their territorial holdings in eastern Ukraine. The fighting in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions has been among the most intense since the conflict began in 2014, and both sides are vying for control of key cities and towns in the area. Siversk, with its proximity to other contested areas, has been a key battleground in the conflict, and its fate could have significant implications for the future course of the war. As of now, Russian forces continue to assert their control over Siversk, with Moscow presenting the images as evidence of their military successes. However, the Ukrainian government has not provided confirmation of the town's capture, and fighting in the surrounding areas continues. The broader geopolitical implications of these developments remain uncertain, and the situation on the ground remains fluid, with the outcome of the conflict still far from clear. The release of these images underscores the ongoing information war that accompanies the physical conflict in Ukraine. Both sides continue to use images, videos, and other forms of media to shape the narrative of the war and to rally support for their respective causes. As the conflict drags on, the role of information and media manipulation is likely to become even more significant, as each side seeks to control public perception, both at home and abroad. For now, Russian forces continue to claim control over Siversk, while the Ukrainian side has not officially acknowledged the loss of the town. The situation in the Donetsk region remains critical, with both sides engaged in heavy combat for control of strategic locations. The images released by Russia are just one piece of the larger puzzle, but they highlight the ongoing and complex nature of the conflict in Ukraine.